according to the schedule, it's got to get approved today.
Because PPAC members go to the CBD.
Yeah.
It did.
Well, let's get started. We'll see what happens. All right. Okay. Okay. This is Jennifer Nisanoff. It is 9 o'clock. I would like to start the continuation of our meeting on, I don't know, was it the 28th of May?
25th.
25th of
I'm
May.
sorry, no, that was April. I stand
Yeah,
corrected.
Okay, that's right. We're in May, April 25th. So I'm calling this meeting to order at 9 o'clock. Let's all rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's do roll call. This is Jennifer Nisanoff from the Safety and Security Subcommittee.
Daniel Clemens, Safety and Security Subcommittee.
Ted Crawford, Safety and Security Subcommittee.
Okay, and then from the public, we have
CC Haas, community member. Carol Pancall, GSCDD.
Editors, PPAC. Jay Gann. I guess pending.
pending.
Safety and Security.
Nathan Nally, Gateway Public Works Project Manager.
And Daniel Potter, Public Works Director. Online, we're joined by Georgia and by Chelsea.
Okay, terrific. Any public comment for today? Okay. I don't think we have any minutes to approve.
Nope.
No financial report.
Nope.
Today, we are going to be talking about the safety and security member selection recommendation. You could pull that up. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we have a request from CC Haas to join our team. And you can see in the agenda package her information. CC is here today. Would you like to say anything about your background and why you would like to join the team?
Please come to the podium.
Yeah.
I'm CC Haas, a 5-year resident, full-time resident at Pelican Preserve. I started coming to the Gateway PPAC meetings, the Pelican Preserve PPAC meetings, to understand the role, the difference in what goes on and the interactions between Gateway and Pelican Preserve. And I guess I got hooked. And I presently am president of the Casella 2 Community Association. And I volunteer outside of Pelican on a few things, but my background is facilities management, not specifically security and safety, but that department was controlled by my department of facilities management. And I'm just a very, I consider myself a very aware and observing and pain in the rear kind of person when it comes to getting things done. And I hope that that is something you guys need on this team.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you for your application. Any questions or comments? Okay, do I hear a motion to recommend CC to join our team? This will then go to the PPAC team. Do I hear a motion?
I recommend that we forward her nomination to join our committee.
Hey, if you guys don't have quorum, you can't make motions.
Oh, we do. I think we do have a quorum now. We
You have
got
a
our-
physical quorum?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Sorry.
He jumped in just as we were getting started.
Jumped in.
Sneaked in, joined us. Came in very confidently into the room.
Just snuck in.
Do I hear a second?
Danny Clemens, seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Okay, the motion passes. And I believe there's a meeting next week. Oh, thank you. Okay, the next agenda item is to talk about the RFP draft that we have that will be going out for the access control and security work that we're going to continue to have done in the community. This is a continuation from the discussion that we had last meeting. And as of the last meeting, what we did was Danny had an opportunity to make changes from that discussion. Then the extended team had an opportunity to provide input. And what we're going to do today is go through the draft as it is. The goal is to make any other changes that we want made today because we need to approve it. In our last meeting, Chelsea provided us the schedule that we needed to stick to so that we could get the RFP out, returned, evaluated, and then an award made to the provider. I think we're now calling it a vendor. And then get it all done by the time our next fiscal year starts. That came out in email, so everybody should have it. It's also, I believe, out on the is it out on the SharePoint? Yeah, I thought I saw it on the SharePoint. I'm sorry, you were pointing. Yes, I was talking about the schedule. Yeah, no problem. So anyway, the schedule's out there. So according to the schedule, we have to finish that today. And yes, the RFP is out there. And if we could go to that now, we can go through it. Last time what we did is we went section by section and people provided any comments. And we just got everything hashed out as we went along. I think that worked well. If we want to try that again today. And Danny's the subject matter expert on this. So we'll turn it over to him to go through this. Now, as we look at this, is it with the changes already accepted so we can see what it actually looks like?
Should be.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Wow. No, because it's still showing contractors. It should be reading.
Oh, yes,
It should be under vendor.
that's right.
I think in
Daniel, you need to pull the one up in the share folder, please.
Yeah, that's what that's what I was looking for.
Now, there is a question about what we want to call owner. I know that I had some questions about the word owner and how that might be different from, say, the CDD, who is the one actually putting out this contract and doing it on behalf of the CDD as well as Pelican Preserve, the PPCA. So I don't know what word we want to use for that.
I indicate owners as a dual responsibility, dual response and action committee regarding this contract. The CDD program process is for the assets within Pelican Reserve, and PPCA as the owners of the property that the patrols will be monitoring and responding to. I felt it was comprehensive to put both in there as the owners instead of separating them. It identifies both for reporting and action, unless there's an objection.
Yeah, I get the point. I had the issue with owner. I think we should use the term owner and that would mean both the CDD and the PPCA. Because otherwise it gets all, to me, gets a little screwy. So I think owner versus owners. I want owner.
Be singular.
Yeah, singular.
Yeah, because there's some inconsistency about plural, singular,
Oh, yeah,
possessive subjects agreeing with verbs because it's not something we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
So if we can decide what we want to do, we can clean up all that.
Yeah. I think it should just be owner, and that means both the CDD and the PPCA.
Do we need to identify that in a separate note or bullet that the owners are either
Or both.
or both?
Well, just change that first sentence there, just hereafter referred to as the owner. Takes care of it.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember trying to get that item up.
Okay.
Doesn't that take care?
Yeah, I would think so, because it's saying both the CDD and the PPCA are referred to as the owner.
Right.
You want to take out the possessive and just leave it as owner?
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I can take out the possessive and the plural.
Mm-hmm.
And then change that to is.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of, yeah, there's a lot of verb inconsistencies there, but that's
Yeah.
because this was a little
Because
different.
Danny's from New York.
Me too.
That's okay.
Okay.
Okay, anyway,
Chairs up there so you can kind of join their conversation. if
Well, they
that's
can't
okay.
join the
You can't
conversation.
vote,
They
but
can't.
Is that, would you guys mind?
I don't mind if everybody
If they
joins
pull
us
up the
closer.
chair
I mean,
over by the table, and that way they
Sure.
can join your conversation?
and you and Ed can join as well. I mean, we're all the public
I'm fine with
today.
it.
All right, well, whoever would like to, that's great. Whatever makes it easy. It's a small group. Okay. All right, so I think the first thing we're gonna do, once we get this going, is we're going to make owner singular and make that consistent throughout and change all the verbs that need to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Well, if I may interrupt.
Yes.
The first word gateways, I believe should be gateway services CDD, not gateway
Yes.
CDD, correct? That's the
yes,
notation I have in my paperwork.
it might be in there
I
already.
gotta look at,
Yeah, because that is their official name.
yeah. I know that.
Well, let's get the thing up from, the document up from
Yep.
SharePoint.
The beauty of this is I can make edits in real time when we do it this way.
Yeah, isn't this nice?
All right.
Okay. Yeah, it got added.
Okay.
So, okay, so I think the first change we want is in the third line for it to be owner. So here too, is seeking, singular.
Alright.
And then right after it says are, I think should be is. See owner, comma, are. Is owner singular?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Any other question? Oh, I'm sorry, you're facility.
No, that's fine. You
Stealing
can
it from you.
continue.
Go ahead. I was on a roll. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. Go ahead. Yeah, if I have a question, I'll bring it up.
All right. Any other updates for that first paragraph? We'll just go paragraph by paragraph.
It
Well,
looks like what we changed contractor to vendor, but one.
Can you
place we
display the
didn't.
document that you're working on the screen, please? I'm looking at the SharePoint site.
I think
I
it
got
is
you.
on this. It's not on the
I
screen?
got you.
Thank you.
Okay. Where's it?
All right. You see now?
Where do we miss one?
Well,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks.
third sentence up, it still says contractor. I assume somebody changed that to vendor.
Ah,
Yeah, I think if we take the word contractor, search it and replace it with
Yep.
with owner, I mean, with
missed that one,
vendor,
thank you.
it would fix all of those errors.
What are we trying to do?
Contractors,
yeah, that's a good idea. Contractor to vendor.
search it and then change it all to vendor. Or- Let's see what we come up with.
And then replace.
It's not gonna replace it without taking the S into it.
No, I think you actually have to hit the replace.
We
Okay,
didn't change it.
because he didn't
know.
hit, oh, I'm sorry.
Give me a sec.
No problem.
One.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, no. All right, that was the only place, so not bad.
And I'll do it with singular.
Okay.
See if I can find it.
Uh-huh.
Is any sub vendor? You want to leave subcontractor alone?
I think so. But I think that should not be
Yes,
possessive.
it is subcontractors because they hire someone else to do the work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think the apostrophe needs to be taken out.
They don't want to have some ownership.
Well, not in that sentence.
Contractor used by the vendor. We're still talking about subcontractors.
That looks good.
Contractor again. It's this one.
That stays.
This one.
Did we?
I'll catch it when we go back through.
Okay.
This one.
All right. Let's see. Anything else on the screen? Might not be a whole page, but on the screen here. Okay, if we,
Well,
oh,
it should be the last sentence here, the RFP establishes in the vendor's proposed response, not proposals, right?
No, it's a proposal.
The vendor's proposal, then.
that should be,
Then it needs an apostrophe.
it sure does. You're right.
They need response to the proposal, right?
I think so.
Yes,
It's not-
it's a response to the proposal.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Okay, can we scroll up? Yeah. Are we good with that?
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm good with the first page.
Yep.
We want to keep all this red.
No,
I think that just indicates change
Just,
maybe.
it doesn't need to be in red. There you go.
All right. Can we scroll up to the next screen's worth or next page, I guess?
Same thing, take that out.
Yeah.
Why are there apostrophes in districts, and HOAs?
There shouldn't be, I don't think. Experience working with,
It's just
yeah.
plural.
it's just plural.
Mhm.
You're correct.
Don't hold it against Danny.
I won't. And then the next paragraph would be the owner is.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That sentence there, vendor and owners.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
No.
Mhm.
All right. Everybody good with the first section?
Mhm.
Okay. Then section 2, general conditions. Let's look at A. Should it be between the, instead of the district, the owner, since we've been saying owner up until now?
This is just regular.
Right.
And then no and or the PPCA, because, well, okay. The person who signs it or the organization that signs it's the GSCDD, isn't it? So maybe it's really the GSCDD and not the owner. Because it seems to me we've been using owner to say it's really on behalf of these two organizations, but when it comes to whoever's doing the final contract, I think it should be pretty specific who's signing it, which is the GSCDD.
Well, I believe the contract
I'd
is.
keep it at owner, period.
Keep it as owner? Okay,
I think the owner would be more specific
Mhm.
in that it's the recommendations of the owner, whether it be PPCA as far as rover patrol type stuff,
Mhm.
or the PPCA as far as.
okay, because that actually doesn't say signature.
That's what
Okay.
We
it
ban or
says.
the PPCA.
I think owner is both now. We defined owner as both GSCDD and PPCA in the first paragraph.
Mhm.
Okay. That's good. I'm good
Oh,
with
yeah.
that.
At first, the vendor should be required to perform site inspection prior to the security of the community.
Starting of the yeah.
I mean, I would think they want to do that before they even create their proposal. Okay,
Yeah, I would think so, too.
yeah.
Yes, and I'm just reading through and given, you're right. It is before you do the proposal, because
Right.
later it says these suggestions or recommendations may or may not be part of the final contract between.
Right.
Yeah,
How would we like to word it?
So then it's not prior to assuming responsibility, it'd be prior to submission.
yeah, of
of
a,
proposal.
yes. And then I have a follow-on question. You're ready. My follow-on question is, I've seen these types of things where you have to do an inspection before you put in an RFP, and there's always something in the RFP that says, here's how you schedule it. Meaning you have to call somebody. They either escort you around or,
So I'd recommend doing a pre-designated site walk prior to for all vendors and do them all at one go. So
Okay.
set a date, set a time, and have it where it's a one shot all for everybody.
One and done.
Non-mandatory. If you make it mandatory, people that don't show up for it cannot bid. So if you make it a non-mandatory item for a pre-proposal site visit, you should be fine.
okay, so do we have to define that time and location where everybody meets in this document, or will it be done later, and should it actually be outlined?
To be determined. Well, where's the schedule? The schedule states we have to do
Here, I'll tell you.
questions date, question response submittal, bids open. 1 second. That's for questions due. We're going past that. Questions response submittal. So between August 23rd and August 30th, I would say we have to pick one of those days for them. Because the questions due. It's a mandatory pre-bid meeting. That's us, correct? Who's involved in the mandatory pre-bid meeting?
Mandatory pre-bid meeting, Randy would run that for us, and then that would be putting out the information to the vendors.
Okay, and the questions due will come from the vendors.
Mhm.
Submittals due, so between August 23rd and August 30th would be the time frame we'd want to have them do a walkthrough. So from their responses to the submittals, they want to do, correct? Or no?
Sorry, say that one more time.
August 23rd, between August 23rd and August 30th would be a time frame.
Prior to them actually submitting their proposals, would be the time frame that you'd want to put it in.
So the 30th is what day of the week? Calendar.
Wait a second. It says bid recommendation on July 25th, so it actually has to be done before that, isn't it? Doesn't it?
For a bid recommendation. See, I'm looking at this stuff. What's the document you're looking at?
The one that Chelsea sent out? No, I'm looking at the one Chelsea
This
sent
is
out
from
in
Kelsey.
email.
For document. August 13th is the pre-bid meeting. Questions from the bidders, August 6th, August 19th.
Okay, mine looks different.
Kelsey?
She's away from her desk right now. That's not going to give you guys enough time if you don't have that. I mean, the contract expires at the end of September. So that doesn't give a lot of time. I think it should be June or July when that happens.
So this is the schedule that she sent out after the last meeting.
I'll pull it up.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that July makes more sense because if you wait until August, that's not going to give you guys enough time to meet, make a recommendation to PPAC, and then they have to make a recommendation to the board. And
Yeah, because I have final draft scope review today, turn into attorney for review. Then on 5/23, final copy with attorney's review brought back. And then the bid letting would be on 5/30. PPAC 6/13. Update letting them know SS out to bid. Bid opening 7/3. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's the one I have.
So in the document.
I don't
have-
see it.
Yeah, this is Danny. In Chelsea's document, I have these other dates, so it's a little confusing now. Which dates are we going by?
Which document is
This
that?
one right here. The
Yeah,
one
I
that's
think
up on
this
The
the
is
one
the
that's up on the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
Laura,
is
I'm
the
trying
one
to,
that she sent
give me a
out.
sec.
I'm guessing maybe you're sharing an application instead of the screen.
This was in the actual RFP document where all the stuff was input already.
Okay, I was just using the one she sent out after the last meeting.
Yeah, that makes more sense because that gives everything enough time to go through the system and get it awarded before it expires.
Yeah,
Dean's joined us online.
hi Dean, welcome.
Hey,
What else happened?
good morning. Sorry it's late.
That's okay. We're going through the document section by section. Daniel's got it. The SharePoint document on this, well, not at this exact moment, but on the screen, and making changes as we go, so that
Okay.
by the end of the meeting, we'll be ready to submit it for the next step. Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Back to the other.
More questions about the schedule before we go back to the document? Okay, let's go back to the document then. Okay, we're going through section A. So we have, shall be required to perform a site inspection prior to the submittal of the proposal. Okay, yes.
Here it says they're required to perform it, but a little while ago, we said we'd give them a date where they could if they chose to attend.
Instead of required, they have the option to.
I think it's contradictory.
Shall be provided the opportunity.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent.
If somebody's talking, we can't hear online.
Now we're reading right now. Okay, how's A? A, ready to move on to B? Okay, let's move on to B.
Make it where you guys can read it.
Thank you. Okay. Take a second look at it, bring up any questions you might have or suggestions for improvements.
This is Dean. So on this topic, we're allowing the vendor to use subcontractors, but the vendor is still responsible for everything, including the subcontractors, correct?
That's correct.
We need some apostrophe work here.
Mm-hmm.
Last line, that one gets an apostrophe on this first one. And then
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about
This one?
B,
last
no,
paragraph.
B.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one gets an apostrophe. No, the first one. Sorry.
And then you need a singular, only reserves.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. What else? Okay. Ready to move on from B?
Mhm.
All right, let's move on down to C. Oh, yes.
Jennifer, it's Georgia.
Hi, Georgia.
Hi, I just sent Daniel a message, but I know he's very busy. Can you ask for a motion for allowing Dean to fully participate in the meeting remotely due to exceptional circumstances?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to allow Dean to participate remotely due to exceptional circumstances?
This is Daniel Clemens. I make that motion that allowed Dean to participate remotely due to remote circumstances.
Ted Crawford, second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, the motion passes. Thank you, Georgia.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is it necessary? I don't know about this. Sometimes we're solid cap, we're folding vendor or subcontractor, and sometimes we're not. Does it matter?
We'll clean that up on
Okay, fine.
Whoever is talking in the audience, that's not working for those of us online because I cannot hear anybody who doesn't have their face in front of a microphone.
Oh, okay, okay. So if anyone from the public wants to speak, if they would just come up and use the podium's microphone, that'd be wonderful. Thanks.
Also, this is Daniel Clements. In making contracts, the principals are generally, in most cases, identified in bold. Their actions are not in bold. That's the general preparation of these documents. That identifies them more clearly.
Okay, well, I'll just let you clean up later if, okay, because there's another vendor in there. Okay, what else? All right, let's move on down to, what are we on to? C? C. Any problems with C? Any questions, comments? Yes, ma'am.
Need an apostrophe on owners in the title of section 3.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Thank you. No, that's okay. Anything else about C? Okay, let's move
There's a
on
type-
to, Yep.
Sorry, Jennifer, there's a typo in town center in about midway through the paragraph. It has
Okay.
an E. On the
Yeah,
end of
okay.
town.
Up a little.
The center says
To
town.
the
I
right.
think town center has an E.
I believe so too.
Okay, well, I stand corrected then. Okay,
Yeah, at the entry, at the circle, it has an E in it.
really? Okay. All right.
But Dean, this is Daniel again. I will confirm that when we go back to the building.
Okay.
Does Brocky Center need to be capitalized? That's not, as you described, it just doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, you're
as
right.
Significant as vendor or.
Just the name is,
It's just a title. You can
Yeah.
change it.
okay, once you finish all. In the first sentence, it says whose residents' average age is 55 years or older. It's a 55 and older community. I know you can be less than 55, but
But it says
most
average
people,
age.
I know, but yeah, I think they're usually referred to as 55 plus communities. Whatever, I mean, maybe that's just picky, but yeah. It's the average age.
Just 55 plus years. And then
Well, yeah, the
period,
average
and
age.
Older, just take or older out.
Yeah. All right, thank you. For motorized, oh, I see what you're talking about at the beginning, yeah. Should we say, because when I first read this, it actually led me to believe there were multiple entrances and exits. We could probably fix that maybe by saying access and egress gates at a 24/7 man gatehouse. So that people realize it's just one entrance.
I changed doors to homes.
Oh,
Just so
okay,
you're
yeah,
aware.
people call, that's fine. At the last sentence.
Okay.
Access gates, access and egress gates. You see where that is on the at the very end of that paragraph? Yeah. Could you say access and egress gates at a 24-hour, yeah,
The 24-hour.
or at the,
Yeah, that makes it clear.
yeah.
The 24-hour.
I'm glad you still.
Sorry, Dean? Were you saying something, Dean?
I just muted myself because someone's talking to me. So.
Oh,
sorry.
okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Motorized access and
And a manned 24-hour egress, a 24-hour gatehouse. We use the word manned as a general word. That is
It's not redundant. We've got the same thing twice there. At a manned. Can you just take out where it says comma, and a 24/7 because, yeah. Yeah,
Get out,
Okay.
take out man again.
Yeah.
Gatehouse.
all right. Well, it's good that we're doing little stuff like that because it means we've got the basic content pretty solid. All right, let's move on to section 4, submission of proposals. Let's look at A first. Any updates, questions about A? All right,
In
it
the
says,
heading, the word enclosed in, you
Yeah.
don't need in.
I was just going there. Yeah. Or,
Why is this, first sentence though, why are we bolding?
I don't know, that was in the, that should be
Alright.
taken out of bold.
probably proposal shall be taken out of bold too.
Yeah,
Correct? Okay,
proposals also being unbolded.
all right,
Bolded
Alright.
shall include one original, 5 hard copies and a digital copy on a USB drive speed,
enclosed.
and enclosed.
Yeah, that's
and
what's,
Enclosed and addressed
Right.
yeah,
And address.
to Gateway Services Community Development
Yeah.
at this address,
I think that looks good.
correct?
Mhm.
Name and the address of the vendor, the date and hour of the proposal opening shall be placed on the outside of the envelope. I'm just reading it out loud so everybody can
Mhm.
follow where I'm at. Moving on to section B. Just match.
Yeah,
Electronic and fast meal proposals shall not be considered. Contractor shall have sole responsibility for delivery of proposals on time and to be.
Interesting.
Vendor.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you know why? Because it's capitalized. I was wondering why I didn't find it before.
Yeah, you got each one independent.
Yeah. I'm thinking, why didn't we find that? Okay. Anything else on B? Okay. C.
Spelled wrong,
Yep.
obviously.
Date. Mhm.
Okay, moving on. Section 5, contract term.
First October 27, yep.
Is 30 days notice for a cancellation standard? That just seems like it doesn't give us much time to react.
I think that was
Every contract I've seen.
Yes.
As it, okay, all right, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, that's my question. Thank you. I assumed that it was taken from somewhere. All right, any questions about section 5? Okay, let's move on to section 6. A and B are short, so let's just do 6 together.
Take the S out of owner.
Mhm.
.45 needs an F. B.
Mhm.
Doesn't-
Doesn't sound like it's 45 days between
Yeah.
August 1st and
No.
November.
Those dates are messed up.
Let's go back
45
to the-
days would be somewhere in September.
So which is correct, the 45 days or the dates?
I think the dates are correct, but I'm bringing it up right now. Let's see here.
So it should be mid-September. Mid-September, probably.
Yeah, it's BOS approvals 9/5.
It's 1 August.
So,
You're trying to
It's
add how
one
many days?
August-
45 days?
I don't think, I thought it was 9/5 for BOS approval, because that's when they would be notified, isn't it? After
that's-
the Board of Supervisors
well, that's-
approved?
Correct.
Okay, well, on the schedule I'm looking at, that's 9/5, not August 1.
Well, for this document, I think it should say September 15.
September 15.
The Board of Supervisors may
The Board of Supervisors may
select
select
9/5.
9/5.
That gives staff
gives-
time to
Give
contact
staff time to contact
Right,
the vendor.
okay,
the vendor.
and August 1st.
Contract begins November 1st.
Yeah, that, I
That's
think that went on the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Let's go back to B again, because
Yeah,
this successful
August
vendor
1st.
shall be notified in writing of the award no later than September 15th, which is 45 days prior to the beginning of the contract.
yeah,
The contract is actually November 1st.
Mhm.
That's when it takes
Mhm.
effect. So we have to,
you can just change the date to September 15th to November 1st if you want.
I see where you're going.
August 1st has to be
It
changed.
will.
Okay.
Isn't it fun getting direction from 12 people at the same time?
It is. So Danny, did you want to switch it up? What else did you want to have switched up in here? So successful vendor shall be notified in writing of award no later than August 1st,
No, it's
or should it be
September.
September?
September
right.
should be September 15th.
Curious why we have the contract running. outside of our fiscal year.
Mhm.
Laura, can you say it again? You came in a little broken.
Curious why we have the contract. Outside our fiscal year.
So November 1st is not our fiscal year. October 1st would be our beginning of our fiscal year. Why would we not start on the beginning of the fiscal year? That's what she's saying.
Oh,
The original contract for the guards is it not November 1st? Am I mistaken? I don't have the original with me.
The end of last contract would be September 30th. The start of the new contract would be October 1. Am I correct in that statement?
That would be ideal because that way that lines with our fiscal year.
Yeah.
does that give us enough time to do post orders and what have you?
It will.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. plenty.
2 weeks?
Well, the post orders don't come out till later.
Don't
The
you need
event-
post orders in order to train your personnel?
The vendor submits his post orders based on the proposal, and then we review them and make changes to them.
I understand, but don't you need the post orders before the folks start working on the 1st?
Yes,
Well, then don't you need to have the post orders done by the 1st?
it should be, oh, yeah, absolutely. It should be done by the 15th of September, but to the award. So we would need their post orders, what they consider their post orders, and tying in our post orders, which we pretty much have already intact. We just have to transpose them to the new vendor. But there'd be no changes to our post orders other than the actual patrol, location of patrols.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah,
Would it make sense, and maybe it's just not protocol, that anybody bidding would get to see our post orders beforehand so they know what they're jumping into?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
That you don't release information on other post orders for different companies. They have to, each vendor has to submit their own post orders for their personnel. And then we tie in our requirements, which is actually listed in the statement, what we
Okay.
want them to look at.
So then, does our RFP include the detail of what we want?
It's in
coming.
the document.
Okay, I'm sorry to.
No, that's all right. It's in the document.
and I hate to be a pain about this, but
Ouch.
yeah, I know. But we have a set of post orders. They do need to get updated to match this contract.
Correct.
They need to be in place in time for the new contractor or the new vendor to train their personnel. So they really need them before October 1st because they have to get their personnel, they have to do the training, so they're ready to come on site and start working October 1st. If they get notified on the 15th, I mean, I don't know if they're going to do post orders if they don't have the contract. So they get notified that they have the contract. They have to get post orders done, or we have to give them some document that they can update, in which case we have a work item to go ahead and update the post orders to match this contract. And then they need to be able to actually put it in their template, whatever it is, so that they can train their people. I think we need to get that into the schedule because I think it's going to be pretty tight. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks this, but thinking back on how long it took us to do post orders in the past.
Okay, well, I'm going to read it. The post orders we currently have in place are not going to change with the exception of the addition of the duties and responsibilities of the rover. That's the only change. And
Okay,
the town
but
center
can we-
patrol, that's a 15-minute conversation, I believe, maybe a little bit longer. Maybe a lot longer.
Okay,
This first
I
word,
still-
successful vendor, should we say selected vendor?
Yes.
okay, all right.
I
I'm
get your
okay
point.
with postponing that part of the discussion, but I do think that our team has some work to do, and maybe I'm wrong, and I would be thrilled to be wrong. It's going to take us more than 15, 20 minutes. I'm just thinking
Okay.
back how long it took us to do first
Absolutely.
and second and third.
So my contention
Okay.
with section 6B here is that we're saying 45 days, and this isn't 45 days before October 1st.
Do we have to put the number of days? Why don't we just say no later than with contract beginning?
That's the ended RFP language. We can take it out with, I mean, we're writing the RFP. This is the RFP that is currently being used by the CDD also.
Yeah, Laura,
Oh,
Randy,
that's-
how many days do we have to give notice? Is there a standard that we give notice to the contractor just before they start? Chelsea?
I'm sure in the current contract there.
I'm sure in the
there's
current contract, there's a,
Echoing. Echoing. I'll send you a note, Daniel.
I'll send you a note, Daniel.
Making this really hard to run a meeting. All right.
Since it's in conflict, why don't you take it out till tomorrow?
I'll just highlight it. I'll highlight it right now.
Yeah. And that's something that I would think the legal review would pop up if there was a requirement or a precedent.
I think that's why the August 1st date was in there originally, because the contract was October 1st, not November 1st.
Hmm.
I believe that's why that may have happened.
Excuse me. Okay,
Okay, let's go forward.
yeah, let's go for it. Section 7, termination of contract. Let's look at A. And we've got some changes there
Second
too.
line of becomes if.
Form A.
Yeah. Without, for cause without cost. I think what that's trying to say is no penalty.
It looks
Or
like
no-
the standard is 60
It looks like the
days.
standard is 60 days.
Okay, yeah. 60 days makes me feel better than 30 days.
If the
Yeah.
vendor has been found to have failed, it should be if the vendor has been found to have failed in performing the contracted services. Am I correct?
I think they mean unsatisfactory.
Right.
Yeah, later on. Unsatisfactory. Correct? It should be unsatisfactory.
Yes.
The next line, yeah.
You're not going to want to make that. first
You're
line
not
be
gonna want to
60
make that
days.
first line be 60 days.
That's not for standard termination.
That's not
if
for
they
standard
fail to
termination.
perform.
That's if they fail to perform.
Okay.
Possessive of owners.
Well, it should be owner singular. right? Because we've decided there's one, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else in A? Okay, let's look at B. Do you want to say
This is-
without penalty again versus without cost?
Are we doing 60 days on this one? Or are we matching within written notice of 30 days?
I think what Laura was saying, and she's breaking up, so it's kind of hard to hear, but it's 60 days except with cause. Is that what you were saying, Laura?
30 for cause, 60 without cause.
Yeah,
Correct.
thank you. Anything else on B? All right. Oh, nope. Okay. C.
Just needs to remove an S on owners on the second line.
Yes.
We're in C now?
Mm-hmm. First word, yep. Anything else on C? All right. Okay, moving on. Section 8.
Spelling should be attorney's fees.
Fees.
And I'm sure the attorney will
Oh, yeah.
update this. Probably has boilerplate language. Okay, I wouldn't spend too much time on this
No.
because they'll update that. All right, moving on. Section 9. Let's
I don't know
start.
who put all this red in here, but it hurts my eyes.
Yeah. Well, it does show you got changed.
Okay.
All right, so let's do
Scope of work.
up to the bullets.
Technically, you need a comma after unarmed, between unarmed and uniformed.
Correct. In the
Pardon?
first line.
First line.
First line.
First line of A.
Yeah. No, you've just pat right after unarmed. Yeah, right there. Everybody good with the preamble?
Well, he's not gonna have the rover 24/7.
We got to check. I got that in my notes. That has to be changed out where in and around the public reserve properties on the 24,
Gotcha.
shall provide you unarmed access control. So we're going to take out unarmed uniformed access control services at the gatehouse. Access control duties or functions at the gatehouse. Additional roving security patrols in and around the Pelican Reserve properties
On the schedule.
as scheduled. So basically 24/7 should be after access control duties at the gatehouse 24/7, 7 days a week. So at the gatehouse, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Danny, this is
I can't hear you.
that sentence is awkward.
Yeah.
So,
Needs a
so
period.
at the gatehouse,
Yeah,
period,
yeah.
or
We're
also
getting there.
roving security.
Yeah. How about,
It has
Just
to be,
additional.
this is Daniel.
yeah, there
It
you
has
go.
to be
And then-
broken up into two sections, and as the access control is 24/7. The rover patrol as designated, and they're both 7 days a week. So my thoughts are, the gatehouse functions is 24/7. The rover is as defined in the scope.
Okay. And then additionally, comma.
Additionally, comma, rolling security bill.
Oh, I like that.
As scheduled, right? That's good.
Come on.
It doesn't want to go.
It's
At
tired.
least you got a degree in engineering.
No, not an engineer.
Okay.
Okay. So contracts will provide a variety of services, implementing owner security objectives according to policies, procedures which may include but not limited to general
Not be
tasks.
limited to.
Eh, I'm good either way.
Contract security personnel will provide a variety of services, implementing owner security objectives according to the policies and procedures which may include but not limited to the following general tasks. What word did you want to add?
I wanted to say be before limited, it just
Mhm.
not be limited to.
Sure.
That's fine.
Okay.
Contracts written in active voice, formal. It would not, it would be as
Yeah.
brevity as brief and trying to be
Yeah.
as brevity as possible. So, but either way, it's fine.
Yeah.
You take out a lot of the does and the bees and the,
Oh,
when you're doing the contractual language.
Yes, you try
Yep.
to simplify it because you have simplified, yeah.
Okay.
Gate access
Yeah,
control
My
at
experience
entry
with lawyers
for
is.
vehicle or pedestrian access. Or control, do you want to change that to control gate access of vehicles? Or,
Nah.
We go back up to after additionally, it should say vendor.
where?
Additionally, vendor will
Where at? Sorry.
provide.
Second line at the very end, additionally, vendor will,
Second line under A.
Additionally,
Additionally,
will
vendor.
provide roving security patrol services in and around Pelican Preserve. Where do you want?
I think he wants vendor before the word that will.
Thank you.
Gotcha. Sorry. Just trying to keep track of where everybody's at because we jumped in over.
Yeah, you've got 12 people
Go
telling
ahead.
you what to do here.
Additionally, move pretty quick.
Yeah, you do.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
bullets. Any input? Yes.
Got a question.
sure.
We, having the vendors under scope of work, provide us how they're gonna do access control and verification,
That's their responsibility.
their responsibilities. Okay. And the pedestrian,
Excuse me?
pedestrian also.
That's an issue that we have to address with the CDD, with the district, because we do not, and the vendors do not control visitor access through the bikes or golf carts or pedestrians. That's an unmanageable task. And I would not expect any vendor without some kind of controls to do that. That's my opinion, and,
I
Yeah.
understand.
That's what we've talked about in the
Yes.
past.
Mhm.
Yep.
but thank you for the question.
All right, bullets. Anything else about the bullets?
So I would take out the capital and G, the gate, it should all be lowercase at that point.
Would they not all be capitalized?
Yeah, I think they should all be
I don't-
capitalized.
Is it either, I've done it either way, and it's, if you want to get capitalized, then that's fine. Not any which major. Declaration, this reports to what the vision. And these statements here are generic statements that can or will be elaborated on if needed. Further down.
Okay.
Are we good with the first bullet?
Yep.
Control access, gate control at entry for vehicle vision. Yes, that's, I mean, yeah, let's take out pedestrian because we're not going to do that. We're not going to expect them to do it.
Monitoring of CCTV monitoring systems.
Yes,
Should we take out-
yes.
Yeah, should we
Because they
take out
have
the
it and
second
they-
monitoring?
The systems are in place and are part of the contract.
I understand. The question has to do with the monitoring word that is highlighted. That's redundant, monitoring a CCTV system.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Your active voice. And it's really respond to, I believe. Shouldn't that be respond?
Well, it's actually response to, well, let's see, can you go up a second? Okay, the general task.
You're asking them to do something. Shouldn't it be a respond?
Well, it's it's security objectives. It could see respond to, it means they're being directed to, but we can leave it at that. Respond to is fine.
Jeremy, this is Dean again. A question regarding the pedestrian. I know the position that you're taking. If we were to add controls to the sidewalks, gate, some sort of gate act, and we wanted the would that be then additional service?
This is Daniel again. I agree with you. I think we can put in that, I would suggest we put in that bullet, gate access control and pedestrian access when applicable. Something to that effect.
Perfect.
If and when applicable. And I think that would cover all avenues on that. So gate access control for vehicles and pedestrians, if and when applicable.
Is that where we want to add it?
Yes.
So say it one more time.
Gate access control at the entry or at entry gatehouse. Entryway gatehouse for vehicles and pedestrian when applicable, or when and if applicable. What words you want to use on that?
In the future.
Well, we can't say in the future because we don't know. We're going to say in the future they're going to be expecting it to come down. So we could, in my opinion, you say when applicable. If we say we're going to stop pedestrian traffic from coming in, I know what you're saying. It's basically the same thing. It's
The only thing I would say about that, the way it reads, it might make the readers say that might mean in certain instances it's going to be applicable, in another instances it's not. And then what are those guidelines? So that, I mean, say maybe if initiated as a policy or something like that. I don't know about those words, but.
Separate bullet item.
I was just going to. This is Daniel Clemens again. Yes, we'll separate that bullet for pedestrian traffic control may be instituted in the future.
How do you want me to do that?
Okay, so leave that, go up to gatehouse for vehicles and put a period there. You get rid of the comma and I guess.
Right there.
Yes, and then another bullet, and you can bullet it again. Access control personnel. For pedestrian traffic. When applicable, yes.
To be required.
TBD.
You know, should the in-house policy change or something like that? Because when applicable still makes them say what it
Access control for
determines.
pedestrian traffic, TBD.
That's good, if you like it.
Everybody good with that?
Mhm.
Yep, thank you. Yep, thank you.
Okay.
I'm good.
Anything else on these bullets?
Let's go stay with monitor and react to see, make a little add to that. Monitor and react to CCTV activity. That's it. Thank you. On to provide necessary action, intrusion alarms, and suspicious activity captured on a CCTV. So that's a little, yeah, that's redundant.
Yeah,
But
we can almost get rid of that first bullet there. Don't you think?
yes, let's get rid of the monitor because it's already in there. Respond to and provide necessary action to intrusion alarms, and suspicious activity captured on CCTV system, alarms, fire, police, EMS, or other emergency response vehicles present. Well, no,
You want another comment after police?
EMS and emergency vehicles response presence in Pelican Reserve, in the Pelican Reserve community.
I'm gonna make a suggestion. How about if we read the bullets and then make a comment? I just think it might be faster if we all read it silently, and if there were any comments, we can make the comments.
Okay,
I'm
that's
just
fine, though, Jeff. Well, you want to go
checking
through it?
Checking the clock here. Okay. So everyone read through the rest of the bullets and let everyone know if you have any suggested changes. Bob,
I got one.
Yeah, right.
Online cannot.
I believe it's the intent for the rover to also check the two satellite pools, the one at Casella and the one at
good
Oh.
addition, yeah.
whatever that is out there, Palazzo.
So interior property, CD access, PPC, town center building properties. And then before well, instead of other amenities, how about,
It's two pools, two specific pools.
yeah.
I believe that my intention was the outdoor pools were the two outside pools. But we can add the community pools.
Well, but then you,
There is, right?
So how many,
Away.
how many total pools?
5. It's an indoor pool, 2 outdoor pools at the town center, and then 2 exterior pools.
it's only 4 floors.
5. Yeah. Outdoor, well, the lap pool is 1.
How about like this, including RV lot and pools, 5. Tennis courts
Okay.
and other amenities.
That works for me.
This is Ed. In one of the previous discussions, I thought you were going to have some exhibits where those things were going to be.
It's,
Shouldn't you just reference an exhibit and then have the list in the exhibit? So you don't have conflicting things with a partial list and then another list. So,
well, so far, there's no conflicting comments, but I see what you're saying. We'll go further down into the document.
Okay, what else with these bullets?
One place to make changes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, ready to move on to B.
I think the period after amenities, I'm sorry, this is Daniel Clemens.
The bullet, no periods.
Oh, no period, yeah, so why are we showing an error?
It wants a period, but there's no period
Okay.
in the bullet.
Can't read your red stuff.
So we're not there yet.
At the very end of B where it says other policy, as well as any other policy established by the contracting party, should that just be by the owner? Anything else on B? Okay. Let's move on to C.
Should this be plural? Supervisor for all
I think
vendor
that's right,
employees.
It's possessive singular.
Last line in C should be every 90 days. Oh,
And last two lines in C, both times owner, I think, goes singular.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got, oh, somebody mentioned that. Right?
Yeah, you might not have gotten there yet.
Say it one more time, sorry.
The last word of this, yeah, go to the last word of that sentence.
See where it says
That
very,
line.
it should be every.
Oh. Hidden in there.
Too many type A's here.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on C?
How much longer is this document?
Yeah, no. All right,
And this is Daniel Klein. That's the document I was saying. The vendor is responsible to prepare post orders for his employees under the general security contract. And then our post orders are added to that.
all right.
Okay.
D.
There's something wrong. All access control and,
Too many ends in there.
no, but it's saying that the access control has to also fully read the thing. So that's not a person. We have to fix that.
How about if we just say all employees, all vendors, all vendor employees?
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Where
make it simple. The very first sentence where it has all the access control and security officers and supervisors, if we just change that to all vendors and all vendor employees.
This is Dean.
This is Dean.
Are we only
Are
concerned
we
about
only concerned about employee
at the site
at
or
the site or
concerned about all vendor
about all
employees
vendor employees
everywhere?
everywhere?
All vendor employees,
Assigned.
yeah, assigned to this contract. Okay, anything else on D? E.
Comma after motivated.
Yeah. Okay, F.
Vendor is solely responsible to ensure that all access control. I would add to ensure that they speak English.
Mm-hmm.
So first line of that, vendor is solely responsible for all access to ensure that all access control. Then it goes on to say what we want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
After responsible.
Yes. So it's solely responsible to ensure that. Thank you.
All right, anything else on F? G.
It should be under singular too.
In G?
Under F.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I would just vent for G, Vendors responsible for all control and security rover staff to be in proper attire.
Staff,
Otherwise, you'd be dressing up your car.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Well, it says it's responsible for all access control and security rovers to be in proper attire, but it doesn't say people. I mean, security rover is a vehicle.
Well, security
No,
rover is actually proper now.
The security rovers,
That's their position.
Then I'm not familiar with it. I'm sorry.
no, that's fine. No, that's,
But it sounds like you talk.
I just changed it a little bit.
That would mean S and R capitalized because it's proper now.
So vendor responsible for all access control and security rover activities. I added activities and personnel to be in proper attire and qualified and have, this is a run-on sentence.
that's right, yeah. Vendor is responsible that all on-site employees be in proper uniform,
That's basically,
that all,
Yeah,
right,
you're-
all. Vendor is responsible to ensure that all on-site,
Of course, they're not.
Just break it up to 2 sentences. Vendors responsible for all access control and security rover activity. Gosh, that's just too much. How about all personnel?
I think the first part is, it's not a part of that is the responsibility, like you're talking about up here.
Yeah, we've already got that.
Yeah,
Everyone leave it, then why don't we just say
just take out the
all
access.
personnel,
yeah, for all on-site personnel to be in full
proper
uniform.
uniform, yeah.
proper
Yeah.
uniform, period. They should also be qualified and have up-to-date life, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Break those 3 sentences. Personnel, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that's.
I just want to clarify that vendors responsible for all personnel be in proper vendor identified attire. Has to be a guard uniform. They can't wear a suit and tie.
Proper.
Proper, well,
Vendor designated or
Why don't we say, I mean, proper vendor attire, I think is,
that implies uniform.
yeah, especially since it said something about it earlier, but, okay. All right, are we done with G?
vendor approved attire,
Why would it be vendor approved? It would be owner approved.
owner,
We would approve what they're wearing, right?
no, they tell us what their uniform is.
Okay.
And their postal orders, they identify the uniform that they're wearing, but either or, vendor attire is fine.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Yeah. H.
Seasonal weather uniforms.
H just needs a plural on officer on the second line. And we're using a different term here, going from staff to officer, but I don't
Why don't
think
we
it
just-
matters.
Well, I think consistency is important.
Well, then,
So how about if we just say
change it
personnel,
to
whatever we use?
whatever we used above.
Vendor personnel.
Vendor personnel.
And I think the same thing should be on I. Vendor personnel with the care. And then we need to get rid of access control and at the very beginning of that sentence. Keep it simple, yeah.
This is backspace key. does not
I'm
work.
watching. It's seeing too much activity.
All right.
Either
Anything else
comparing
on-
the same kind of
on?
weapons. Neither. That's it, yeah.
Okay, J.
J needs either to take out, or it's referring to 2 owners a couple of times.
Mhm.
Why is this?
It says either owner because it used to be, when we started, it was
Right, should
Gateway
be.
plus.
Should be
Pelicans. Now
to the
we're a
owner.
single owner.
We've already talked about Jay someplace else, basically.
Never talked about removing, that's for the contract we talked about, not an individual. This pertains specifically to an individual working at this. I don't recall that.
Okay,
If you find it, maybe we can look at it. I'm just trying to,
well,
yeah.
Dan, does it make sense then to leave it that way? Because it could be that Gateway could see somebody that they think is not right, or we could. So maybe that
I think
does.
you might want to change it from being whenever required to do so to whenever requested to do so. Because we cannot make them take the person away. We can ask them to, but we can't make them.
Actually,
Well,
Laura,
I'm
I disagree
surprised that
with that.
you can't say, I want this person off the site.
You can say that, but this is a contention. We got into this discussion with another vendor, and we can only request. We have the contract with them to perform a service. We can't tell them how to perform the service. We don't have control over what they pay their employees, when they get their reviews, all of those kinds of things. So that's why you can't demand that they remove someone. You can request it.
Understood, but if you could terminate the contract if they didn't do what you want them to do, right?
Right. If they're not performing up to the standards in the contract, yes. I'm just proactively letting you know that that would be a sticky point for Tony.
yeah, understand.
Okay, this is Dan. I understand what you're saying. I disagree with that, but we can continue, go forward according, we'll just continue with that and see what happens.
For J, can we remove one more S on the last entry of owner there, owners? Thank you.
All right, ready to move on to K?
Getting there. We're on page 8 of 9.
Yeah,
We're about to be on the last page.
That's good. K looks good to me. Daniel,
Anything else on K? L.
finish up.
Just need to take off the S.
Okay.
All right, anything else on L? M.
Just an indent.
Okay. Hearing none.
Let's fix the indent on M. If we can.
Okay,
We're getting there.
all right, moving on to the last, section 10.
A lot of red, Danny.
That's an easy one though.
I needed a lot of work.
Can I just inject something here quick? I have to leave in about 10 minutes. Does that affect our ability to vote on this?
Dean's not a voting
I'll
member.
stretch it as far as I can, but
All right, we'll keep moving.
absolute would be about 20 of 11. I'd have to leave.
All right,
Okay.
let's keep moving.
We're moving quickly. We're getting almost there.
A.
Something wrong with that first sentence after the words in the contract schedule, all duties. It keeps going on. I think it needs something.
I think it needs a period and then capital A. You see what we're talking about?
No. Oh, in the contract schedule.
Mhm.
period.
I think so. And then,
Well, then we take out, then that's a
That whole
incomplete
second
sentence.
yeah.
Access will include another, in the desktop site. Okay.
Anything else on A?
It should be not be limited to.
Access control will include, but not limit, be not limited? No,
Not be,
no, but not limited to.
but
That's okay. Yeah.
not be
Never mind.
limited to, not be.
Okay. Right after not, put a B, I guess.
Yes.
Limited to. Knowledge of desktop computer, site-specific computer program.
Okay.
Okay.
B.
I don't know where that word option came in. I'm confused with that, but let's read through it. Initial.
I
It's not
think,
an option.
right, I think we should delete it.
Yeah. Vendor shall provide a qualified officer or multiple if needed to conduct roving patrol security surveillance of CDD assets along within the entire community, to include all community streets, to assess issues of concern observed in any common areas. This is going to be a long run-on sentence.
If the word along isn't necessary.
Correct. Assets within the entire community.
And it's CDD. This is not DCD.
District assets.
Yeah.
Should probably, up in A, that should be GSCDD too.
Good catch.
In the interest of time, I'm happy to stay late. If we have any of these other things we need to go back and make sure we're consistent, I'm happy to stay a little bit, but in the interest of time.
I think we're
can we
almost
just
finished on
say-
this, yeah.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure.
This is
we
the last
get
page.
through it before-
Okay. Change the hours to 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Say it one more time.
10 p.m. to 6 a.m. 8-hour shift. And I put that in there because 85% to 90% of the town center assets will close at 10 o'clock going forward.
So 10 PM to 6 AM.
Yes.
Anything else? All right, ready to move on to C.
Yes.
Now, is it a patrol vehicle? We said last time it did not have to be a golf cart, correct?
Correct. We prefer, I mean, for monetary purposes, a golf cart works better for everybody. It's, but they have the option of a vehicle.
That option isn't made clear though.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it's specifying.
Yep.
Either or both of the owners have their,
Didn't we supply the vehicle?
No, we pay, the company leases it and we pay the lease. As part of the contract, we pay a lease fee. For fuel and the vehicle, there's a separate fee.
I thought there was some talk about Pelican owning its own vehicle
That was my thoughts.
or golf cart.
Correct. My thoughts were an enclosed golf cart with a dump on it, almost like they use in the town center.
But not that the vehicle, not the vendor wouldn't supply it. We would own it ourselves.
That was my content. That's what I would like to have, but we haven't discussed that as far as a committee.
Oh, okay.
I think that's something we have to look forward, we have to go forward on.
It says access remain within the PPCA properties? It's not really within the PPCA properties, it's within the Pelican Preserve community, isn't it?
No, it's PPCA because you've got to go down to the storage yard.
And that's not considered part of the community?
It's outside the community. You cannot, they will not be able to
Yeah,
enter it
that's
from,
correct, the
from
kids.
within the community. Am I correct?
You're correct.
So if we say within,
Possession of the designated property, designated manager.
We're at, Bob,
At the bottom, instead of saying PPCA property manager, just say the designated manager, that way it could be you. Because the property manager's not there on Saturday and Sunday, but somebody's always here.
Oh, down at the bottom.
Designated manager.
Or designate. Because the manager may,
Tomato, tomato, whatever, yeah.
yeah.
Designated,
Okay, so we can eliminate the responsibility for delivery of on-site fuel. If it's a motor vehicle, they're not going to deliver fuel to the facility. They're going to go out and get fuel. If it's a golf cart, the fuel's going to be delivered to the facility, or they would pick it up. They would dump it in there themselves, 5 gallons or whatever.
I'm okay with just removing it.
Danny, how does a golf cart, how would it get to the storage?
They would utilize the yellow light and drive on the sidewalk path going towards the storage yard,
Down tree line?
down tree line, yes.
Are you allowed to drive your golf cart that way? I thought you could only drive it from Pelican down towards the,
Maintenance
Safety Security.
vehicles authorized to use the sidewalk for
Are they?
maintenance purposes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
That's how they do the grass or the sidewalk there, though.
Okay.
because then the sidewalk to, what Dixie is a multimodal,
Multimodal.
Uh-huh.
but in the south side, it's not.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, as David said,
Maintenance vehicles are authorized to use that facility, yeah. The vendor shall, okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna be rude and just say, okay, got it.
Got
Let's move on, because we're on time schedule here.
The last part of D, how many hours per day a week will the on-site supervisor be available? It means, I think it means the on-site supervisor will be available, because it's not a question. So just, I think it would read better to say, how many hours per day a week the on-site supervisor will be available.
The vendor
Yeah, that
shall
makes sense.
indicate. I'm sorry, Dean, go ahead.
That, I agree with that change.
Talking the last line.
yep.
I have a question before you leave this page.
Okay, I think we're still, are we good with D?
No, vendor shall specify the number of personnel to be provided by position and type. Let's go back to it, position and type. Vendor shall indicate how supervisory oversight will be provided, assigned, and how many hours per
Yeah,
week,
right. And how many?
per hours per day of week will,
Day per week.
will, per week, they will be on site, or the supervisor will be available. Correct? And available.
missing a dog. How many hours per day per week will cost? One side supervisor. A, one side supervisor.
We can say- Okay, I don't want too many people.
Be available, not and available.
Okay, E.
So you go back up where we talk about the roving patrol, 10 PM to 6 AM. There was some statement in parentheses about the supervisor. How does that relate to what you just edited on this page?
I'm unclear what the question is.
We're
Go-
not
go-
expecting,
Go back up, okay, so that said includes Monday to Friday supervisor hours. What does that mean?
Road patrol. We can eliminate that.
Yeah, that's what,
Eliminate that statement. In a generic scope, the supervisor works various shifts, so that
Yeah.
individual may work those hours.
that's okay, okay,
We're
but eliminating it makes it more clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, E.
Looks good.
Okay. Moving on down.
Good.
Right on
That's it.
down.
All.
That's it.
All right.
Wait, whoa.
I was just gonna say, I'm hesitating whether to ask anything else before we make a motion to approve this. Okay, do I hear a motion to approve this and have it ready to go on to, I think it was attorney review, I have to remember the schedule.
Sure, this
You
is
guys
being
can't,
both,
you guys can't vote, but if you're comfortable with it, where it's at, if you want to make a recommendation, I can attach it to the PPAC agenda. You guys can't vote during a workshop.
Laura, you're breaking up.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It was to make a recommendation to go to attorney review.
So you don't want it to go to PPAC first?
I'm looking at the schedule and it says to go, the next step was to go to attorney review.
I think that my suggestion would be that all parties view it before it goes to Tony. So that way you have it looking the way that you want it to before he gets it. Otherwise, he'll mark it up and there may be something that PPAC wants to include that you missed, or they may be fine with it. I have to push that agenda out today.
Okay.
So if you're
How
good
does-
with where you're at with this, I'd like to attach it for them to review next week and then we can give it to Tony.
Is that gonna squish Tony's time? No? Okay, so he'll be okay?
You can do it at the same time.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're sticking to this. Okay, so do I hear a motion to recommend that this go to PPAC next week for their feedback?
This is Daniel Clemens. I make a recommendation that the document as written gets submitted to PPAC for further approval, review.
Ted Crawford, second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, that recommendation passes, or that motion passes. And PPAC is when next week?
Thursday.
Thursday? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, we have to push the agenda out today.
Gotcha. I just want to,
Laura, this document is in the SharePoint and it's
Okay.
updated.
Okay, I'll make sure it gets attached. We were just waiting for you guys to get done.
This is where it's located. Boards,
Okay.
committees. Wiser contract scoping, and it's this item right here for draft.
Okay, I can tell when it was updated last, so.
Alrighty.
Got it.
yeah, okay. Thank you, everybody, for
Thank you.
for this. Do I hear a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Daniel Clemens makes a motion to adjourn.
Ted Crawford, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And all opposed? Okay, this meeting is adjourned at 10:40. Thank you all very much.
And I just want to say thank you to everybody for the comment